ala na-azụ nwa zụọ unu na akụnụba na abụghị elu ike nke Chukwu oke abịa ma Eneke the bird said that since men have learned to shoot without missing, it has learned to fly without perching. Ebe ọ bụ na anyị were sound ndị ọzọ kụzichie ihe ha egbulie ya n'ịntanetị, a ga-ekwe ka ọ na-apụta ka a gwazie ha na ama ka esi agwọnye ya ọgwụ ka a gwagharịa ya. Anyị adịghị gwagharịala ya. Happy New Year to everyone. It's good to see all of you in this 2023. But the truth is that wishing you Happy New Year does not provide a prosperous New Year for you unless you take action. Because faith without work is dead. And as long as you're an African, without sacrifice, you're going nowhere. The most dangerous man upon this earth is a man of sacrifice. Because a man of sacrifice can take whatever he desires, as long as he's willing to pay the price. And it is an abomination in our land to use human beings for sacrifice. Therefore, whoever gets involved in that, it ends up wiping the family. That's why many families, when they are in this generation, wipe the family. Because after the choice apple, family choice apple, I'm on then. Just a few days ago, I traveled home and I was introduced to a particular lady. She was the only child of their parents, and she married a wife for the family. N'ala Igbo, nwaanyị amụta enwere nwoke enwere ike lụta nwaanyị ka ọ mụchie obi. But at the end of the day, emegodi ya obi ahụ or the complete. Are they complete? Sometimes aha nwada ka ọ mụchie obi. And ọnwụ na solve the problem butere ya, it will still end up closing. Ọwụrụ arụ emelugbo. And so we are now conscious to avoid whatever will lead to such abomination. Ejiro mmadụ achụ aja. Onye ji enyi wee sinye ọnya ka ife ọ chọrọ ịma. Isi ya ka ọ chọrọ ịmata. Onye jiri enyi si ọnya mata isi ya. Onye jiri mmadụ si ọnya wee ka wee chụọ aja. Ọ ma wipe generation ya. And so we'll be talking about in this new year steps that we need to take to clear the road and things that we need to know. And I will discuss about the prosperity timing of nature. To everything in life, there is a time and season. Everything in life has its time and season. And so, when it comes to prosperity, there's also time. Oftentimes, every human being wants to make money, starting from childhood or youth, childhood, yeah. Kana kwe ochi na nwata. Onye ọgịrịga wa na nwa, onye kpatara ego na nwa, ọrịa. But these days, we often find out that it doesn't happen. Maka na ọ nọ dị like anyị achọwa ebe a. Now, we've come to discover that when you work for people, they results. Different people have their timing. There are three particular timing on earth. You have morning, afternoon, evening, and night. The morning time is also known as the youthful period. This time can be used adolescents, adults. Okay, okay. Let me just use the word adults. Why the mid time is aged? When in Abate we are 70. True or false? True. And then the night period is where?
After you.
Huh? Grave. Old age is not night period. Night period mgbe ọ lara ụla. Mgbe ha larụwazi ụla ka ụmụ ha ya kpata. Due to ife ọ haziri. And the children continue with it. Now, at this morning time, there are those ones that they are. That's why I have here. Okay, subtitle of this is Ogbanje. Let's have the subtitle, please. Ogbanje. Ogbanje Akunoba. Ogbanje Akunoba. Now, Ogbanje Akunoba. Enwe ndị Ogbanje Akunoba na-agbara na nwa. They don't know why. They don't know how. They just become wealthy. When now, as a result that their parents are wealthy, born with a silver spoon, then there are some who just come because of opportunity. Is it true or false? True. And so, as such, most times it is often taken for granted. Ndị ego zukere na nwa ma ndị amụrụ n'igwe akụ, they take care for granted. And oftentimes their children end up suffering because they never have any story to hand over to their children. And so, how the reason or how the money came about? Highest, I know Chiameria Konamaro. So wherever there is Ogbanje Akunoba in the morning time of a person's life, oftentimes some mismanage it. Sometimes I won't know one day look ego hit here without no luck. But that luck is always a result of what he did in the past incarnation. But some when they made effort in the past, they couldn't. But that effort he did, is it lost? No. It cannot be lost. Because there's nothing like death. You only sleep to reawake again into a younger, fresh body. And so whatever you have left in the past, you pick it up. Whatever energy you have left in the past, you will pick it up. That's the law of life. Because the vibrations you establish will always await you. It cannot go to another person. And so you pick it up. Then, there are those whose Ogbanje Akunoba ndefie. Our afternoon time in the adulthood of their life. Some of them may not do anything at all. They just happen to stumble upon it. Or a time when the things they did in a past life matured for them to reap. The fruit so the seed they planted matured in the afternoon hour. Because there's a saying that there is a time for everything. A time to sow and a time to reap. Now, most times, we do not know the time of our reaping, a time of harvest. So you sow consciously or unconsciously. But many people reap unconsciously. And so for the man who reap unconsciously, he will adduce it that now Jesus said earlier. Such too, the money does not last after him. Am I communicating here? Yes. So, then there are those whose wealth come to them at old age. Or without effort, but after struggling all this thing, wealth will come. Maybe any of their children. Abatazie, ha nọzie ọnọ n'ikpe akọwụrụ akụ nwata nyere nna ya ụmụ ya haziere ife. Again, he may have done all his effort to acquire money, struggled. But the point that most of the things he did ended up being gathered, and then that's when the fruit came out. It now came through his children. But in the night, ha na-eri ya mgbe eliri ha. Akụ eje wee mee burial. May that not be our portion. Now, in life, everybody who live in life know that efforts have to be made to achieve certain things, and nothing happens by chance. And so for anybody who for any reason is not getting the result of what he has sown, he needs to do some things to find out. Now when you get this kind of people together to work for them, as in with these three people, or in the morning time, that is when you do that work, onye nke nọ at that hour, the onye morning time ya, or do morning time of this thing, succeed. Now 3-4 people or the same or 1 or 2 people are shining, and because are shining. Why? Ogbanje Akunobaha is not in harmony with their age. Am I communicating? Yes, sir. Ọwụrụ na adịghị conscious kpọlite Ogbanje Akunoba ya, ịrụcha ọrụ ahụ, ịrụcha ọrụ ego, ọ ga-awụ. So, the research you have been making, this research came out as a result of why many people, some they were rapid success, some they were delay. And you were saying, ndị Ogbanje wee pụta sị na why na onye ọbụla nwere their timing in everything in life. And so n'ọrụ ọna na-arụ onye ọrụ ya na-ebuzi akpọ ndị Ogbanje asị ka ebe ọgbụgba ndụ ya n'ihe adị. Enwe ndị ọgbụgba ndụ ha na a ga-amụ nwa late. Are we communicating? Yes, sir. Enwe ndị ọgbụgba ndụ ha na ha ga-aka nka. Imewe ọnwụ na onye ahụ dị sick mere ka enyechi ya ndụ. N'elu ma ọ ga-awụ lesi kpọli ọgbụgba ndụ o ji bi ụwa. Enwee ike check ya ọnwụ na o nwere search ahazigharịa ya mee life extension. Am I communicating? So as in prosperity, so it is in every other thing you are doing. In Africa, most families gbara ọgbụgba ndụ old age and not enweghị much ọgbụgba ndụ ego. Ụfọdụ nwere ọgbụgba ndụ ọmụmụ, that they want children. The emphasis in those days was not concerned with money. Is that true or false? The emphasis was concerned on children and what? Children and old age, long life. Because we were an agrarian people, and our ancestors realized that when you have more children, you will have more people, more hands for the farm. And so they desire to have more children. They also realize that you live long, you enjoy the proceeds of your labor. And so it was not generally known that you can activate Ogbanje Akonoba. Only few families realize this. Am I communicating? Yes. And so when you look at our ancestral past, you see that we have different Ogbanje that guide different activities of our life. If there are problems in certain area, like every mother, but mother chuaja, but we mother n'ike, or ele mother, ihe ọ na-eje ọ block Ogbanje ọmụmụ, ma ọ block Ogbanje ego, ma ọ block Ogbanje old age. So that every problem there, like recently somebody that issue that now nobody crosses 59 years in the family, as long as the generation have known for the past 30 years that it has been happening. So, ha gbapụ ọsọ agba afa asị ha na enwere nwa ada egwuregwu eji hiwe ogbugbo na that family. Therefore, ụgwa ha na ọnwụ ike agha akọ na that family. And so, solution is na a ga-akwụ ya ụgwọ kpụọ alụ, a ga-akpụ alụ nwa ada, alụ nwa ọkpụ, wee na-amaghị nwa ọkpụ here. Akwa ala nwa ọkpụ ma nwa ada, ka ihe na-akpụ ya nwe nwa ọkpụ ya, nwa ọkpụ ma nwa ada ka na-akpụ ya. Ụmụ ọkpụ akpụala alụ ụmụ ọkpụ, mee ya peace, restore ya life ahụ ka ọ bịa bizuo ndụ ya. That is the only way I get to cross over that page. To cap it all, they became so righteous that they brought in Jesus and his fire. Jesus eburu agha ya bata. Then, mgbe ọ batara buru agha ya, ihe mgbe o tiri, elu nwụrụ ọkụ, elu nwụrụ ọkụ, elu nwụrụ ọkụ, ala nwụrụ ọkụ, ị ga-ebi ebe ala nwụrụ ọkụ. So, ọkụ gbakọta ebe niile, everywhere gbafusie, but ebe ọ na ha nọ, onye a na-eru 58, 59, kpam, onwe na-aba ya, once over 59, highest 2 months after that, onye a drop off. With all their churchianity. Ebe kena before ọchọwezie n'omenala. Mana Jesus agwọta nke a. Now, it's a result of infraction of the law of the land and the law of nature. And it has not ended. Onye other material is always what you will find. Onye a na-egbu n'ala n'obiọma, they always pronounce vengeance. That's why they said that the blood of Abel cried for vengeance. That the blood of Jesus is crying for vengeance, so, but your vengeance is not as terrible as that one of Abel. In other words, if they cry for vengeance, whether you like it or not. Now, what we're saying is, these are what determines a person's time of prosperity. And so, to find solution for this, we now make research. How do we resolve it? That no go onye Ogbanje Akonoba on an afternoon or evening. That no nya ga-ebutere ya na youth. Mọkwa ndị ọ na-adịghị at all in their lineage. Enwere ndị grand prosperity na-adịghị in their lineage. Ọ bụrụ na iliju afọ adịrọ. Adịrọ m ụwa iliju afọ. Are we communicating?
Yes, sir.
We came to do greater exploits. So the onye ọ na-anọ na their family, ma ọ bụrụ onye nke ya na-elube, ma ọ bụrụ onye nke gafego nke ya, because e nwekwa ndị gafere nke ha because of negligence. Because you can have a right to a thing and you will lose it by what you advocated. Maka na enwe nke ejikwe nkwa. Mgbe a na-agụ egwu, ekwensu nwere ụwa niile o, na ha nwere ego ha Jizọs. Mụ ekwensu nwere ụwa niile, ha nwere Jizọs. By your own mouth, you rewrote your agreement that your prosperity, you don't need it. Are we communicating?
Yes.
Ogbanje okwu ọnụ, enwe ndị ji ogbanje okwu ọnụ destroy their own akụ. Maybe at the youth or at the afternoon. And so, ha etofee ya. Mgbe ha etofere ya, dere igirisu ya, afụfụ ụwa. So, now, these are the things we have come to observe and research, and we discover that a lot of people are going through that challenge. And so we now ask, how do we do it? All the possible, at a particular time. But by so doing, you may also, in the case of shifting it, when you shift to our name have what Ogbanje old age, or may affect. And so we no longer tamper with that agreement. He had a no, he were really a fresh Ogbanje on the back. And so for 2023, it is the package of the year we have for our people. That's there is also room to talk. That now people na ga-ebido hiwe ndị mmadụ Ogbanje akụnụba, ọgbụgba ndụ njem akụnụba. Am I communicating? Yes. And so, in the course of doing that, as we were researching, they told us that never the entity in charge is the ancient home of our ancestors. The ancestors. Where do we have the ancient home of our ancestors? It's not in Igbo land, because every land, the ancient home of the human family. Where is the ancient home of the human family? Yes? Ogbanje. Yes, who knows that? The ancient home of the human family of Ogbanje, yes? The ancient home of the human family is what do you call cave now? Nibo. Yeah, I'm Nibo. Have you not heard caveman? The early men live in caves. Are you not there? The ancient home of the human family is in the cave. It was in the cave that man began to learn how to domesticate animals, how to live in families. Am I communicating? Yeah. It is from there that they eventually learned how to build houses and on the surface land. So the ancient home of the human family is in the cave. And so in the course of the research, they told me that we will need to go to the ancient home of the human family to negotiate with our ancestral forebears. And that's why I remember I told you sometime last week that I went to Ogbanje Cave. How many people remember that? But nobody asked me what did I go to do. It was where we were handling this research, trying to find solution, how to make it easier for people to live with prosperity without harming any soul, to live a prosperous life. Now, in the course of that, ka a nọ ebe a ka a nọbụzi gosi m ma ka esi ahazi ya, ka esi agbadi ọgba na ka esi kwado the okuku Ogbanje akụnụba. And in the process, you will activate it. Once activated, that one of the ancient spirits will be connected to you by covenant. Na ọ ga na-asa abụghị in financial matters. And as long as they near the agreed sacrifice, you use those simple here, even in your business or as your logo. Ọwụrụ ebe spirits. Onye like ya ọ na-azụ ọ na-egoli, onye ha etinye ya sị ọ ka anyị nụwa, ọ narakwa gị nke iji. Hate me or like me, say this. Anyway, ka isi kwado na 2023. And it is for your own good. That is why the information I know is so that we can all know where we are and how to activate the things that will uplift us and benefit our family. But what I always appeal to you, anything that will cost human life, don't get involved. Nothing is worth it. Am I communicating?
Yes, sir.
Nothing is worth it. The consequences are far, far more terrible than you can ever think. Yesterday, I saw an image, gross image on the social media. A man who have retired from the armed forces after serving over 40 years in the armed forces. He retired. His gratuity was to be paid 3 months to come. And his son demanded some money from him. He didn't give it, and the son stabbed him and he died. After going all these places, going to war, doing everything in the army. Jechana gote ọkụ n'ala mmụọ bịa n'ala mmadụ ọdịnarị ya. Now, when I consulted the oracle, why? The oracle said that. But all they were living as father and son, the father never knew that this one is sleeper agent. Sleeper agent of karma, waiting to strike. Where he felt he relaxed to enjoy in your spiritual advancements. Because knowledge is power. Yes. When you understand these things and the principles of nature, how they work, you will not be bamboozled by anybody. Yes. And nobody will mislead you. What is the consequence? If I do this, what consequence will it bring? Am I communicating? Yes. That is why it's important that we understand the principles of nature as we share it with you, and how those things you need to apply so that you can live a comfortable life and be happy.